All right, welcome everyone to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by the Rolla Athletic Booster Club. I'm your host, Tom Brown, and today we are talking to head cross country coach Rhett Cook, as well as some of the Bulldog runners. How's everyone doing today?
Doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
So who do we got with us here? Starting on that end down there.
I'm Kendall Langley, and I'm a junior.
I'm Braden Shenfield. I'm a junior.
I'm Cameron Martinson. I'm a junior.
All right. I'm Tom Brown. I'm not a junior. Um, Coach Cook.
Far from it.
Far from it. Okay. All right. So, man, really appreciate everybody showing up today. Kind of a exciting time. Seasons, the vast majority of the season is complete, but we got districts coming up, and so this is a good chance for us to kind of recap what's been going on so far with cross country, how the season's gone. So, Coach, what are some of the big meets that we've had some good success in so far this year?
Um, the month of September was pretty big for these guys. Those varsity guys going. I mean, Joplin, super competitive, but finishing, pretty high up. Everybody running very well during that month of September. That's what we want to see. And then, we hit like a couple like Camdenton and Lebanon where, we get some first place finishes, Waynesville. That's a good booster. So we finished mid pack, but we also have the 10 and 12 team meets instead of the 30, 40, 50 team meets too. So we get a good mix, a lot of competition across the state, especially that big Joplin meet, that overnight one, that one's huge. Going up to the state course, Gans Creek, finishing really well there, hitting some really good times. They're getting on that course just before state's huge. So yeah, they've really performed really well. So
That's great. So, what do you guys' favorite meet so far this year? What's been your favorite just meet overall?
We started down here.
Okay. My favorite was Gans Creek. The course is really pretty, and it was just a good race for me. So.
Great.
Mine probably was Joplin. I always done good at Joplin, and it's always just a fun meet to go to, and just fun times. Always spend the night down there.
It's always good.
Yeah.
I always like the Joplin meet. The course is really nice. There's a lot of good fast people are there. So it's just a good time to go fast.
So, what's been your guys' which course? What's been your fastest time this year? Then on what course or at what meet?
My fastest time this year was a 2023 on Gans Creek.
Okay.
Mine was 16:33, and that was on Joplin.
I ran 15:26 at Camdenton.
Nice.
No, 15:46. Yeah, 46.
I I can't do that. I'm even driving that far that fast. So that's great. So in Game Creek, that's where the state meet will be held. You said.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was kind of a cool one this year because it was they moved it so these guys got moved up to the elite groups. And that ended up being a twilight race. So in my career, that was my first one. So it was a night race, everything, all the generators with all the lights up. I've seen them a lot and been to them, but never actually had kids running them. So that was really cool. I
Was it-
thought experience
yeah.
for them, maybe for me, I thought it was pretty awesome.
But yeah, you guys like that as
Yeah.
well.
It was fun. It was a cool experience. Yeah.
I didn't really think it was a good like twilight course. There's a lot of pretty dark spots. Yeah,
It got scary at sometimes,
yeah.
but it was
That's
fun.
why I liked it.
It was fun.
Should have had it now, like Halloween coming up, and then it's
Yeah.
been a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
As people jump out, kind of scary.
Yeah, I'm scared a little bit. Yeah.
Like the haunted mine or whatever is haunted
Yeah.
high school that we have, haunted eye.
Yeah.
So, Coach, who's made some really big strides? So again, these are, I think, your kind of your top three runners, right?
Yeah.
You got right now. Who's been some of the other runners that have made some big strides here during the season?
These three are always, consistent as well, too. And, we met with Tommy earlier this season, too. He's made a big, 30, 40-second jump, too, to land himself in that number 2 spot on the team. Morgan Moats really has pushed a lot this year. Big strides that way. Like Mo Mile does a kind of like overall like best from year to year. And this year we've had more Raleigh kids, like just improvement wise. Like Addie Gray's on the top there. She's improved by like over 3 minutes.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's kind of nice to see like the commitment level and then them actually dropping their times and hopefully continue to do so as well. But as a whole, as a group, there's been a lot of big PRs this year. So, which goes just everything back to their like commitment to the sport and actually locking in with it. So it's been pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and that's what you want in your program, right? You want to see that improvement, especially in a sport like this where it is an individual sport, but collectively as a team. I mean, I know there's a lot of encouragement from you, kind of staying with it. Do you guys have like individual strategies? Do you like try and set the pace or stay with the group? Do you try to pair up a little bit? Do you have anything like that you guys do when you're running?
Um, Usually, in the first mile, me and Tommy stay at a certain mile pace, and then after that, we usually try to push each other in the last 2 miles just to see how it goes.
Mhm.
Just push each other throughout the race. But yeah, something
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
What about you, Cameron? What's your?
I usually go out a bit slower the first mile and just take people off the next two, but it doesn't really work very well in the state meet course. You just get swallowed up pretty quick, so I have to go out a bit quicker. But
Just because there's so many kids, you're
like,
saying?
yeah, and like everyone just like I went out pretty quick at state meet, and I was like in 80th. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go even faster. So,
Oh, wow. Wow. I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Tina, what's your approach?
I try to conserve for the first little part of the race and just use the faster parts of the course to go a little bit faster and try to push up the harder parts.
So, what we like to talk about is a little bit of announcements right here.
Yeah.
Because it's always important to know that when your parents are here to pick you up, if you so we like to share that on Inside the Huddle as well. So how many kids will you take to the district meet then?
So we can just run our top seven boys and girls. So
Okay.
that's what we'll run this year, and that's the Mission Straight guidelines.
Okay.
So yeah.
So and so at the previous episode we talked about having the kind of this lull towards the end, so fewer meets at the end of the season, but you kind of use it as an opportunity to get everyone kind of going again, get their pace set, and get out of the grind. You allow your other runners to get their opportunities on some of the meets as well. So what's it been like here since the last meet and kind of prepping for the districts and the big state push?
So we have a pretty hard week, and then I mean there's like a 10-day stretch. It's pretty rough for these guys, and then you kind of start not just tapering back a little bit to keep them a little fresh, but we need to keep planning ahead as from week to week. So October was a pretty big month where we still were, normally we would kind of be dropping and hitting some meets, but that way we don't have to drop. We can just keep, like, we kind of plateau on mileage, even increase a couple weeks.
Oh wow, great.
So we're able to still kind of increase a little bit before we can drop back down and hopefully get them feeling as fresh as possible for this Saturday. So that's the overall goal anyways for it. So it's a good training period.
So this Saturday, November 2nd, is the district class 5, district 3, I believe. 18 schools in the district. And we got 4 Columbia schools, got Jeff City, ourselves, and then 12 kind of St. Louis metro area schools. Who are the top schools coming out of there? Are you familiar with any of the ones up in the St. Louis area?
We've seen them a little bit. That's kind of the nice about going to these big meets and like kind of spreading out a little bit, especially when we go to Columbia wise. But Liberty, we've seen those guys. Rockbridge, both boys and girls, we've seen those. Hickman, we're probably least familiar with. St. Louis school wise, we don't get a huge opportunity to see them a lot. They kind of stay right there in St. Louis. There's a lot going on. Um, so that's a little different seeing a lot of those guys, but the Columbia Jeff, we see those guys quite a bit.
So I know you look at where your times are and times of your runners. I know you guys are probably matching yours and seeing. Have you been looking at who are some of the other runners that's going to be in the district that you're going to be competing against? Have you looked on the time split or anything to see like that?
Yeah, just a little bit. Don't want to look at it too much to get in your head about it, but just a little bit here and there.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Same for you guys, or are you scrolling through, looking at them and seeing where everything's at?
I've looked. I try not to look at like specific people, so it doesn't make me nervous. But
yeah, I definitely noticed who's there. We have 2 of the top guys in the state in our district, so let's try to stay somewhat close to them. Let's get a good time there.
And that's you guys. So again, coming here, how many will it advance on?
So they'll take top 30 individuals and 4 teams, and that's all blends in together too.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of excitement though. And again, it kind of the new district, right? Because we've always typically went to the Southwest, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Last year we went to St. Louis, but we went like south more part of it. So we went St. Louis again this year, but it's a whole different. I mean, we're in the north, and then bringing in Columbia schools, so we are back to a kind of a new environment again. Yes.
Oh, and we jumped a class, right?
We did last year as well. That's
Okay,
when we went
okay.
to St. Louis,
Okay.
but once again, like we're a different part of St. Louis now. So, you know, St. Louis is so big. So the schools that were there last year, we're not seeing hardly any of them again this year. So it's basically all new to us again. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great. Now, that'd be fun. Be a good time.
Yeah.
So McNair Park and St. Charles, is anybody familiar with that? Has anyone ran that uh, course or anything?
I went up there 2 weeks, like 2 weekends ago, to do a workout.
So how's that compared to some of the other ones you've been on? Anything that
It's
stands out about it?
kind of a bit of a smaller park. It's like a 4-lap course, which is pretty unusual, but it's not bad. It's pretty quick.
And you'll have, so we'll have 18 teams and 7 people on a team. Who's the quick math person here to get that number? Well, it's a
Not
lot
me.
of kids though,
Not
right?
me.
These are the smart guys here. Yeah. But
Where's my engineer at home? Giving me the update on this one. But so it's gonna be a lot of kids. So now how often, so how do you, is it a common course up there for the St. Louis schools, do you think?
yeah. So a lot of those schools actually ran their conference on there 10 days ago, a couple weeks ago, I guess. So they've ran it a little bit. They are a little familiar with it, but I know like TRXC, they said they're going to do a lot of work on it this week, which I think it's just more aligning it, make sure everything's clear as far as that goes anyways. So, yeah.
Right. So we've had we talked about has anyone hit a PR this season so far?
I have, yeah.
I
Have
haven't.
not.
I'm not.
Okay. I just kind of always curious how that goes because
Uh,
you get a lot of things change, a lot of things come, and each event, is different, and having that. So I'm always kind of curious about how that goes. And as somebody who doesn't run a lot, as you can tell by my physique, I'm not really comfortable with the whole PR thing. My PR would be something a lot different, I think.
Yeah.
So what's been your favorite thing so far about this season?
Um, I don't know. I guess I've been more consistent this season, so it's nice to just feel a little bit better about it.
Probably not getting sick. That was pretty nice this year. Not getting sick all the time, and just having fun time. Actually getting up there now during the season. It's just a fun experience. I've actually been fully healthy this year. I was either sick or hurt last season, so I've also just been looking forward to the districts and state this year too. So
That's great. So you've qualified for state the last 2 years,
yeah,
right? Has anyone else qualified for state yet?
I qualified twice.
Twice. Okay.
My freshman year, I think.
Freshman. All right, that's great. So great experience coming back for you. I mean, that's kind of nice to have it again as juniors, coming in this season. Could be a lot of excitement. And again, I know on the boys side, you guys have had as a team has had a little more success than the girls team has had this year. You've had a lot of individual success coming forward. So what's your thoughts again in districts? Do you have any ideas? Do you have expectations? What are we thinking here?
Just hoping to stay in the top 30 pack.
Yeah. I don't like to jinx it, so I just everybody that keeps asking me about it, I said we're gonna find out.
Nice.
I don't. Yeah. I'd like to get top 3. I think those top 2 guys, they'll be by themselves, but I think I could stay close to them. So.
Good game plan then. Yeah, 'cause you
Yeah.
never know, right? You
Yeah.
never know. Everything kind of comes up there. But yeah, I like that too. You don't want to jinx it. Just everything will turn out the way it does on Saturday when the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, anything you want to add about coming up on the districts? Anything else?
We're just looking forward to it. I'd say this year, as they kind of said too, it's been more consistent this year. It's been a great year. You know, the boys are right on that bubble too, so every point will count. So they'll go out, they'll race hard, and we'll see success. I'm excited for it. So I'm excited for them too. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Kind of, you guys have had some great success. So then, when will the state tournament be? Will be the
it'll be the following Friday.
following Friday. All right. So hopefully you guys will have some good success on Saturday. Try not to eat too much candy tomorrow night. And then you guys will be there up in the state the following Friday. Before we go, I'd like to always kind of recognize some of our sponsors from inside the huddle. We got Angie Reese, MVP Apparel, man, keeps all the Bulldog gear going for the families. Dan Collier, I like to always say about Dan, he's not just a good neighbor, he's a great neighbor. He's State Farm. Love Dan Collier, does chain gangs on Friday. We'll give him a big shout out for the district game tomorrow night that we're going to be hosting. Phelps County Bank, 100% employee owned. Bankers by day or Bankers by day, Bulldog fans by night. Go to mypcb.com. Kobe Wands Skills Academy. He's a former Bulldog, two-time All-State player. Does a lot of training with Ethan and love the work he does in the skill development. Always appreciate him. Okay, one last question for y'all before we go. Favorite Halloween candy?
I like Three Musketeers.
Ooh, little more traditional than I was expecting from you. Three Musketeer, not bad. What else we got?
I would say probably Kit Kat. I'm a big Kit Kat guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about it.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Yeah.
All right.
I like stuff like Sour Patch Kids. I mean, kind of depends what I. If like sometimes I'll like want a Three Musketeer Kit Kat, and other times I'll want some Sour Patch Kids, stuff like that. But kind of depends on the mood, you know.
Oh my God. Ethan tries to feed me some of them sometimes. Ugh. Not really translate well to adulthood. Coach?
I gotta go Skittles. I go more Martinson route. Not a big chocolate guy over here, so yeah.
Really? Well, what
Yeah.
happens when you guys are all like that? You know, I prefer the chocolate. I like my Twix, Kit Kat, M&Ms, Snickers,
Yeah.
whatchamacallits, Caramellos. I mean, not that I'm really aware of these things. No, so that's, yeah, I was always going to look to see what people like. But the Three Musketeers, coming back to that one. Oldie but goodie. That was one of my, it was a big one in our house. That, the Milky Way, and the Snickers. Kind of those are the ones always going to seem to do it. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. For Coach Cook and our cross country runners are going to be competing on Saturday, November 2nd in the districts. Thank you. Good luck to y'all.
Yeah.
And let's bring home some of those medals and move on to state on Friday.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, sounds great. So good luck this weekend, Coach Cook and the runners. I'm Tom Brown. From inside the huddle to the heart of the game. We'll see you next time.